Ready for this? I hope so, because I got to tell you, this is where I spend the majority of my time. And right now, this is where the bottleneck is in my business. So I need to stress that this is the key component to making successful messenger funnels. Okay, so during this time, you see on my screen, I have one of my clients, but I'm going to be sharing with you how I actually create these in real time, live right now. Okay, but before I do that, I need to make sure you understand that Messenger and email are really very similar in one aspect, and that aspect is people or prospects who are coming to us give us permission to communicate with them in whichever medium we're presenting the information. So they give us permission to communicate via email by giving us their email address and opting in and verifying that yes, they want our information by verifying their email, all that stuff. There's 7 steps in that process, by the way. And then in Messenger, they're doing the exact same thing. They are giving us permission to communicate with them via Messenger. Okay? So that's the similarity. And the delivery, the fact that we can automate this process of communication, they're also similar between the two platforms, but then that's it. Then they completely diverge, and we use different communication styles and languages to communicate via the two mediums. So marketing concepts are still the same. We're still trying to give value. We're still trying to engage with people and try and get them to engage back with us. It's much easier to do in Messenger than it is in email, which I'm sure you already know. So the copywriting is what I'm going to be focusing on today. And what I typically do is I ask my clients for their current email sequence. Very few of my clients don't have an email yet, a sequence yet, so they pretty much have a funnel already. So I ask them for that funnel. So here's her email one, and basically just like we do it in email funnels, the first thing we do is deliver the thing that we promised them, right? So that's all she's doing in this first email. And with that in mind, I have a pretty standard opt-in sequence that I use for this type of funnel. So she is getting people onto a webinar, where she's going to sell them on that webinar for her course. And so she's giving them a lead magnet, and she's delivering that lead magnet right here in Messenger. So here she is. I usually start off with an image, and she had a perfect image here because what she's talking about is kind of a staircase effect. You start with where your visibility is, and then you can grow your business. So it was perfect that she had this staircase behind her. So this is my standard opt-in message that I start pretty much everybody with that's delivering a lead magnet like this. Okay, so I just kind of reiterate what we're giving them. And then this is the button I usually use. This is Mind Omo. And I usually use yellow to show the button, and I give a thumbs up since we're training people basically with this first message to understand that there are buttons to click. They're not going to type back. So that's why we say click the thumbs up or click the happy face or click the fireball or whatever you want, but use an emoji there to get them used to looking to that button, to click that button. And I've shown her, because I'm going to share this with her, that this is an opt-in button. And usually that opt-in button is going to lead us to the next message. Okay, so I usually connect that to the next message, which is actually delivering that PDF. I also add just some housekeeping information in this original message, since we're also training people that they can unsubscribe. And I just tell them, if you want to unsubscribe from all the amazing tools I'm sharing here, just reply with stop, and you'll immediately be taken off my list, and I'll miss you. So make it personal, because remember, Messenger is totally personal. You can still be professional. You don't have to curse or anything like that if that's not what you're used to doing, but definitely make it your personality, since this is personal. Okay, and then so we're going to immediately after that thumbs up, we're going to deliver this actual PDF. Okay, and then I say in that next message, and this is it for the first day's message, we're just going to deliver the PDF, because what I've also found is that if we try and continue to take them through the sequences and have them push buttons, the click-through rates are very low because we just gave them something to digest, and then we're trying to have them keep clicking. Those two things don't go together. So if we're going to deliver something, let them digest it, let them take a look at it, and we can either give them another message in, let's say, an hour if you want, or you can give another message the next day. Typically, we want to go the next day. We don't want to give them too many messages. We don't want to bombard them with messages in the same day. So typically, I say tomorrow I'll be back with some more information, just like you do an email, basically. So there it is. Here you go. And I usually use another emoji that points up. Now you can stop shoulding all over yourself and decide where you should spend, where is the best place to spend your time and visibility. Here's delivering this PDF. That's all really it is, which is all we ever do. And then we really start in with email number 2. Okay. So in this first one, I changed that because I said after I deliver the PDF on the mind map, here you go, pointer up. Now you can stop shooting all over yourself and decide where is the best place to spend your time and visibility, because that's what she's talking about. Then I have a delay for about 3 seconds so they can see that the PDF is there. They can read this first message. And then I pop up with another message that says, I'll be back tomorrow to talk about what to focus on to build your business instead of your visibility. See you right here in Messenger tomorrow. Okay, so that also sets them up for the fact that we'll be back. Okay, I'll be back. So day number 2 message. Here's where we get really into the meat of this. And I always start with either a GIF or an image because the statistics show that 30% boost in open rates when you actually start with an image. People don't want to read as much as they want to look at beautiful pictures, especially on Facebook, Instagram. Yeah, you know. All right. So now what I'm doing is I'm taking this email number 2 and I've read through it. So it's basically talking about what to focus on instead of visibility to grow your business. So she goes through a story of going to the car repair shop because her car was making some noise. And she takes her kids there and they did a multi-point inspection and all these wonderful things. And she hopped back in the car to head home. Not even 5 minutes later, the service due light came on and it said her oil was 15%. What the heck? Same thing happens in business. We're so busy looking at the shiny things that we forget to look at the things that seem basic but are critical to life and business. Awesome story. Now, how are we going to take that story and translate it into a quick message or a couple of quick messages? Well, here's how I started it. Okay. Hello again. First name, since we can use that now because Facebook knows who they are. So now that you've gone through, I have a very important question for you. Can I ask it? And you can say, can I ask you my question now? Because again, people are in Messenger, this message pops up, they might see it and they might say, no, ask me later, or they might not be able to have it there. Even though we're probably not going to give them that option, we can definitely give them that option. It just makes it more complicated. So basically the next thing is a button. And you put that button in there from your prospect's perspective, not yours. Okay. I could say, no, I'm busy. Come back later. And if they do, I can create another sequence that basically starts this process in an hour or tomorrow or whatever. But I'm not going to get that fancy. I'm just not. We're just going to assume that, yes, they want to hear it. And if they don't, they can come back to this message sometime on their own. All right. So we go down here. Okay. Now, what question am I going to ask them? The reason I'm putting it into a question is because I can't just tell that big long story that we just read. I can't just give them that story. Otherwise, I'm just taking their email and putting it into short messages, but all I'm doing is taking snippets of the email. That's not engaging. So I'm going to ask a question like, have you ever taken your car to the repair shop because it's making a noise? And after you leave, the check oil light comes on. The check engine oil light comes on. Then I can give them 2 choices. Yeah, that's annoying would be one of my buttons. And no, I don't own a car. Something funny that, no, I ride the bus. Okay, something cute that they can, laugh about. And of course, they're going to probably choose yeah, because that's happened to probably all of us, or at least most of us who drive cars. And then once I do that, then I can take them into, and that's a short, quick way of putting them in that mindset of it was making a noise and then I left and then something basic happened. And then the next message can be, yeah, the same thing happens in our business. When was the last time, and I can ask that same question, but from a business standpoint, when was the last time you focused so much on that new, shiny new technology that you wanted to use, or that shiny new program, or that shiny new sales technique, and forgot to follow up on your current prospects? That's what we're talking about. So understanding what she's saying and putting it into engaging messages that they have to actually read and interact with to get where we're going. Okay? So I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to type all that up and then I'll bring you right back to show you what I'm talking about. Okay? Be right back. All right. Thanks. Have you ever taken your car to the repair shop because it was making a noise and they fixed it, but right after you left the shop, the check engine oil light came on? Angry face. Again, we're going to use emojis. Yeah, that's annoying. Sunglasses, smiley face. Nope, I ride the bus. Haha. Well, the same thing happens in our businesses too. Delay for 2 seconds, and when you do that delay, make it like you're typing, and I'll show you that in ManyChat if you don't know it already. Have you ever gotten busy looking at all the shiny things popping up online that you forget to look at the things that seem basic but are critical to the life of your business? Now, I took that almost straight word for word out of her email here. So let's see here. Yeah. We're so busy looking at all the shiny things that we forget to look at the things that seem basic but are critical to the life of your business. So I just reworded that a little bit. Have you ever gotten, so again, I'm asking a question. I'm not just telling. Do you see the difference here? She's just telling you something. I need to ask a question to get them to interact. That's what this is about. So worded in a different way. Have you ever gotten busy looking at all the shiny things popping up online that you forget to look at the things that seem basic but are critical to the life of your business? That's making people think, oh yeah, I know all the shiny stuff. And so one of the buttons, and I'm going to try and make this fun. Ooh, shiny, yes. Focus, no shiny. Okay? And I'll put this all through the client to make sure she agrees that that's okay to say. And that sounds like her. All right, and those 2 buttons will point to the same place. Again, it's just getting them to interact and feel like they're choosing their own adventure, if you will. So, of course, I'm going to go right. Okay, the basic thing we need to focus on is sales. Visibility is important because it's the starting point to getting sales online, but it's not the only thing. And again, I took that straight from her message. Okay? It's right here. The truth is that visibility is important in your business because it's the starting point to getting sales online, but it's not the only thing. Okay? So I am telling a few things. I don't have to ask every single question. But in order to get them to engage, I can't tell too much. So there's one tell, and then a delay so they can read it, and then the next tell with a question. If you're anything like me, your caring heart just wants to give to others, and you need to shift your mindset around sales to express your passion for helping your clients. Am I right? So I told and asked them to confirm whether that's true. And of course, the button, yes, sales equals service. Awesome. Tomorrow I'll send you a very special invite to help you boost your sales without being sleazy or fake. So be sure to open my message when it pops up. See you then. Because we're telling them, and again, getting them ready for the fact that this is Messenger. It's going to pop up on their phone or their desktop and engage when it does. Okay? And again, I took this whole caring heart straight from her email. It was right here. I know that I learned this lesson, and it's basically, and the reality is that without sales, you can't make an impact. Okay? I know that when I learned this lesson, it was a tough one for me to swallow because being a bedside RN for 7 years, I had this caring heart that just wanted to give to others. I had to shift my mindset around sales, and it's something I'm passionate about helping my clients do. So I could put in RN, but I'm trying to get them to relate to the fact that we have a caring heart, because her audience is moms and mom entrepreneurs. So I don't necessarily have to say the RN part. I can just assume as a woman, they have this issue because the majority of us do. So that's why I specifically didn't put in the RN. I just wanted to show that you have a caring heart. And we have to balance that with a passion to keep our business going. So that's where that came from. So here you can read her email. I'll leave this up for a second so you can actually go through it. So here's email 2. You can stop this and read it if you want, the details, but this is the email, and that's how I take that email and translate it into Messenger. And I ask engaging questions, questions that they will relate to. So then the next thing I'll do is number 3. All right, so I'll do the same thing. Special invite, because that's what I told them I was going to do to help them not be sleazy and sell as a service. And so I'll just go through the next day, and this will probably be day 3. So this is a basic 3-day sequence to get people into a webinar to sell them on what she's offering. And I've done this for at least 4 other clients. At least 4 other clients with mixed reviews. One of them, amazing reviews. 2 of them, mediocre reviews. So probably the 2 of them, it was maybe 30% or 20% of the people that went through Messenger actually bought, which isn't bad. That's 20% more than they would have had. And one that had amazing results, 2 that mixed, and then 1 that was very poor. I think one only had 1 sale from a Messenger funnel that basically was in a webinar format like this. So this person, I think, is doing it completely in Messenger. There's no email to compare it to. So the whole thing, I believe, we're doing in Messenger only. So this will be a really amazing test. So I'm going to take this, and let's just take one of this copy and see if it goes in here. Aha. So I'm a little bit long. So this is 160 characters, this little tool. So I'm close. But it's not the only thing. I only have 2 more words. So that's okay. So if I come in, I put one of these in here, let's try one of the other ones. And it's basically just to make sure you're getting, you're not getting too long-winded, okay? All right. Helping, okay, your clients, am I right? All right, so I'm just a couple of words different. So yes, I'm getting there. Does that make sense? So it stopped with helping, and I see your clients, am I right? Okay, so the question, here's another idea. All right, let's do this. Let's take this out. And add it underneath. Okay, and so that I'm typing, so that it's just like I'm actually typing to them. And then I ask that question. So now I know helping your clients. It's only 2 words. So each of those bubbles are as close to that as I can get. And then I ask the question by itself. And I can even put an emoji in here. The question mark emojis. There's a couple of question marks on there. I can put those in there to make it more interactive. And then I get the button right underneath the am I right? So then it's focused on, am I right? Yes, you're right. See how we can change that? That's how you can use this tool to change the way you interact with people. So now this one probably is going to be a little too wordy. Let's check it out. See if we need to put it okay, but are critical to the life, nope, of your business. So that's totally fine as well.